Good morning. My name is Irving Martinez, and I am running for Bibb County Commissioner in District 2. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the politics of personal destruction that is going on against Danny D. Glover and Elaine Lucas. First of all, let me just say clearly that I still support and will always support Danny Glover for the position of Commissioner in District 3. However, recently he has been in somewhat little bit of trouble, as I always say, with law enforcement, dealing with marijuana baggies that were found in his cars, as well as some marijuana residue and what they call a blunt. I happen to know the person that Danny was with, and I know for a fact that he doesn't in fact consume marijuana. Now, in and of itself, I don't find marijuana to be such a big deal because, hey, in the past I've smoked it myself, and I've taken it as part of my medication for my open heart surgery, as well as for my HIV, where you lose appetite, and there's really not much that they can do other than provide you Marinol, which is the legal form of marijuana on pill. And so marijuana to me has more medicinal than it does illegal purposes. So this isn't such a big deal. But of course, the politics of personal destruction that goes on in this city on a constant daily basis, I wouldn't have expected Miss Lucas to respond any less than she already had. She uses the word unbelievable. Unbelievable. Then posts the video which Danny speaks regarding and answers questions regarding the incident on January 23rd. Let me just say this on behalf of Miss Lucas, which would be, she has every right to bring up whatever situation is going on, and no one's talking about that. What I'm talking about is in the way that she does it, trying to make Danny look and humiliate him in public. Well, let me just say this. No one should be more humiliated than Miss Elaine Lucas herself, who has done nothing but cause strife in our city. Dissension and hateful remarks have always hit their target. And Miss Lucas, for all intents and purposes, is really the one that we should be saying unbelievable to. Right next to her office, there at City Hall, the office of the mayor, who she seems to be avoiding and confronting when it comes to the Junebug homicide, as well as knowing full well that the police department is under the auspices of the mayor, and yet the mayor never once chose to reprimand or to fire either the police officer or Chief Burns, who's really the one that's in charge there as well. So I say this to Miss Lucas. What's so unbelievable about that? Well, let me just say it. What's unbelievable is you have not said one word regarding the Junebug homicide. That you have stood back and avoided any kind of confrontation with Mr. Rick. And as a matter of fact, it looks like you guys are buddy-buddies in pictures that I see. And you guys think much more highly than you ought to about yourselves. Putting yourself in a fire truck and the mayor riding around in a fancy car. This is ridiculous, folks. You want us to celebrate you like you're a bunch of movie stars, when in fact you're politicians that work for us. You should be more concerned about how you look behind that desk, and the things that you profess are good for the community, and yet has done nothing to really change anything around here. That's what I say. And it's ridiculous to think that you can get away with it, when in fact, you're not. In the end, God is in control, and I believe that He'll clean up this act, this despicable act that it is in this city. Some of the things that go on here are just disgraceful, and yet people get away with it. And so, Danny having little baggies in his car comes nowhere near to some of the diabolical, disgraceful stuff and behavior that goes on behind those walls at City Hall. And let me remind you that even though I may not win in the primary, I am going to continue to be a voice for justice in this city, and I will continue my campaign regardless of whether I sit in office or not. My voice will be heard if I have to scream on top of the roofs and every roof and every rafter in this city. I am not going away, folks, and so I would bear to differ if you think otherwise and say that somehow this may die down like everything else did. It's not going to. And once again, I want to mention that I am running for Bibb County Commissioner in District 2. It is your choice to make whether you want someone like me who's going to keep an honest keel and literally call people to the carpet, or you're going to continue the status quo that has kept you in stagnation for over 30 years. And so, there you have it, my folks, my opinion of the day. And I hope that you'll appreciate that at least there's a guy like me out here trying to make sense of it all. And trying to bring that sense over to you for you to decide whether it makes sense or not. Nonsense is what it is. Nonsense that they choose the smallest denominator and they choose that as their weapon. Thank you.